You're watching Hellbent Holler live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Hellbent Holler Live. We're so glad to have you here. We're going to make sure that you guys can see us and hear us. I'm going to have to get over here to the chat real quick and see what's going on. There we go. Loud and clear. Thank you, Deucer. You are Johnny on the spot. So it is awesome to see you guys here tonight. As you can tell, it's the beginning of spooky season officially. If you could tell by the thumbnail for the show tonight, it is the beginning of spooky season. We are ready. I'm geared up. I've got my orange hat on, even though it's very hot outside still. I'm working my way towards it. Got my orange hat on. Got my, oh God, I'm going to fall. Oh God, I am going to fall. There you go. Don't be a basic witch. That's my official start of fall shirt. I'm rocking my Mexican hot chocolate with pumpkin marshmallows in it. So we're going to try to force this fall into existence right now. We got a lot of stuff we want to tell you guys about, our plans for the upcoming season, and we're really excited to get into that and show you guys some new stuff and really start to innovate how we do our investigations and throw in some new cool stuff. First and foremost, though, I want to thank all of you that showed up to watch my presentation live on Anomicon last night. I know that it was kind of spur of the moment. We didn't know when my presentation was going to air. So I did a live really quick to kind of hop on there and let you guys know that my presentation was coming up. And so the troops absolutely rallied. So I want to thank you guys so much, everybody that watched that. The replay does not on the Anomicon page.
Because it went so damn long.
It went so long.
Good Lord.
Yeah. So the replay does not include my presentation. He said he's going to upload my presentation separately, but I don't know when he's going to do that. So I'm uploading it right now to our channel. So it's in the process of uploading right now. So that entire presentation, if you missed it last night, is going to be available for members, I believe, after the show tonight. Members, you'll have access to that. It's about 36 minutes. It's I kind of go through the basics of Hellbent Holler, kind of our evolution, our journey, talk about the project, and I show some of our best pieces of evidence that we have gathered so far and discuss a little bit about that. So if you guys are interested in watching that, I'm uploading it right now. So it should be available as soon as the show is done or a little bit after for members. And then I will make that available to everybody in a couple of days.
Yes.
I'm going to let the members get first crack at checking that out. And then we'll make it available to everybody in a couple of days. And that'll just be on our channel. And you guys are welcome to check that out and see that presentation. So there's some slides in there. I talk about the LBL, the Grove, North Georgia, and then we have some highlights of some of the evidence we've gathered over the years. A few short years, actually.
Yeah. So, and Bristol had said the Hellbenders represented. Jesse did a quick little live that I'm sure most of you guys saw when we found out she was going on. And we just knew that she was going to be at the end of this gentleman's presentation. And I kind of felt sorry for the dude because
he was a good sport.
He was a good sport, but he was doing his thing. And there's just like, you know, a few people in the chat. And then all of a sudden it was just like,
it was like, so I told Joe, I said, it felt like we were like on a beach and he's standing there trying to give his presentation on a beach. And then this horde of Hellbender Vikings just pile off of ships and are storming the beach. And you've got axes in hand and you're screaming, you know, Hellbender into the air. So
I thought it was like Lord of the Rings when the Rohirrim ride over the hill at the end and horns start blowing. But you did that and you ended the stream. And then I was on the Anomicon stream, and then I just started seeing people just roll in, and I was just like, "Oh God!
Oh no! Here they are!
This poor guy doesn't know what's going on." And even he was going, the poor dude. He's just like, "I put a lot of time into this presentation, and you guys were amazing," because everybody was like very complimentary.
Yeah, everybody then was like shifting gears, and they're like, "It's great, yes."
But they didn't know what quite.
He did a great job with that. His visual storytelling is fantastic. That's something I'm working on. Myself, so I'm gonna watch his presentation again and actually check out some of the stuff that he did, because his channel is Slavic Stories, but his visual storytelling was fantastic. So there's a lot of things that we can learn from a lot of these presenters that were on Anomicon, and Anomicon is still going on right now, I believe. It's a live 2-day conference that's streamed on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Hopefully we get asked to do it again.
Probably not, because they'll go, you guys made everybody else there feel bad about
but I think we had the most viewers.
Yeah, we did.
It
was great. It was really cool.
So, and that's thanks to you guys really rallying and showing up and joining in the chat and being real awesome as usual. But you know, what's really cool to be a part of an event like that is you get exposed to people that normally you wouldn't get exposed to. And Ryan Sprague, who put on the event, was really, really adamant about bringing people in who normally don't get a seat at the table when it comes to the paranormal, you know, entertainment world or whatever.
Everybody always talks about, you see the same 10 people.
Yeah. All of these conferences are the same 10 people over and over again. And some of these people that are at these conferences don't even really do Bigfoot research.
They don't even really
or paranormal research.
And they don't even really like it when you get right down to it.
They don't
You're
really
trying to talk
like
them
it.
afterwards, and they're just like, you know, it's just what I do to pay the bills, man.
You know, what you're seeing with something like Anomicon is people who are passionate about paranormal research, passionate about high strangeness, passionate about the occult, just about all of these different topics.
Crazy stuff. And it's weird because when they first asked us, I was like, an online conference, like a virtual conference, I could maybe see where that was like cool during COVID, but I don't know. And then I looked at a few of the videos from last year and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Yeah. And then this year though, with like the musical interludes and everything like that, it was pretty cool. It was cool.
How cool was that song that played after my presentation?
Yeah, like
Wave Wolf.
Yes.
We were still in the chat and we're watching everybody and somebody goes, "Ow, Wave Wolf." I was like, this is so cool. This is so fantastic. We ought to see if we can maybe use that song from that band for something. Yeah. I think that would be really cool to kind of team up with them and do kind of a little collaboration. I think that'd be rad. But
anyway,
I'm into this hot chocolate right now. I'm sorry.
Centurion, thank you for that. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Centurion. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
And thank you for being a member.
Back to membership status.
Back to membership status. I see. We are actually going to do. I was going to talk about this a little later on, but this is a perfect segue to it. We always make people aware of our memberships, that we've got them. We try to do a lot for our memberships, our members, because they really support what we do. We're going to figure out a way to do like a membership drive or something, because to try to build the memberships a little bit, because we've got some pretty cool ideas on what we want to do getting into fall. We've been surviving the summer and going out, but even then there's days where it's like 105 degrees, constant thunderstorms. We're out ruining equipment, fall is when we kick it into overdrive. And what we're looking at doing is we're looking at actually getting and modifying Starlink. So we can do live field investigations from places that we don't have cell signal at.
Yep.
Some places, either we can't carry the cell signal booster in because it means we wouldn't be able to really carry any equipment, or even with that, we sometimes can't get any signal. So we're trying to do live streams for members on site. We're really limited on what we can use. And there's most of the cool places you have no signal at all.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at is trying to modify a Starlink up. It's the Starlink itself, it's more affordable than it used to be, but it's still expensive. But the being able to keep it powered and transport it and the setup and everything like that, it's going to cost some money to do.
Yeah.
So, but if we are able to get it done, what we would be able to do is start doing on-site live stream investigations. And if I think I've got it figured out, well, we could even do it pretty much on the move.
Yeah.
We don't have to be tethered to one spot.
And we can do it anywhere.
My cardio is going to need
because you've got to haul battery backups and you got to haul the Starlink unit.
Yeah. So and then the battery backups are going to be the big thing because
I'm going to figure out. Oh, actually, that's another thing I was going to think about is we got to figure out a way to mount the unit on you. Mm-hmm. That way, if we're mobile, which we're going to be mobile,
already working on it,
but we're going to be able to mount the unit on Joe. He's going to be camera and satellite receiver. So he's going to be doing a great job at that.
Battery backups is going to be the
heavy part.
Yeah. And it's going to be the expensive part because you're going to need.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking into doing.
Because if it drops power, we lose the signal. We lose lose
everything.
Yep.
And I have got to figure out a way, even if I stop to change batteries, we would lose it. Mm-hmm. So I'm toying around with a couple of ideas of some stuff that we could do. But so we are going to try to think of some things to maybe do. If you guys have any ideas, share them with us to try to build the membership. It's always been great to have it. It's been crucial to support and to be able to fund this.
And I think this week is going to be the launch of the first stages of the merch, by the way.
Yeah. But if we can do this, it's going to be difficult, but a lot of people are doing it vehicular based, based on the tops of their vehicles. And I'm going, we can get mobile with this. We can get mobile with it. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a lot of trial and error to be able to do it. The power source uninterrupted is going to be the big one, but I think we can do it. And I think we could all of a sudden start bringing you live streams
from anywhere. That's the thing so last Halloween, we did our live stream from the alleged massacre site at the LBL. We did that last Halloween and the Halloween prior to that. We were in the LBL and we did our live stream from there. We actually had a little bit of signal enough to do a live stream. It was still a little choppy, but we were able to do that. With this technology and with us upgrading our connection here with the Starlink system and modifying the Starlink system to use it on the go, this opens doors for us to be able to live stream live investigations
from the LBL, from Brown Mountain, Uwharrie,
for
North
our members,
Georgia,
anywhere.
Tennessee, places that we're looking into branching out into.
Because a lot of the places we go to, we have absolutely zero cell signal. My phone won't even do emergency calls from these locations. Sometimes my Garmin InReach Mini has trouble connecting, but there's so many satellites out there now for the Starlink system. We should be able to connect and actually live stream uninterrupted, high quality.
High quality is the big thing because that's the thing that always pisses me off.
Is it pixelates
and then we drop and we want to go towards what we're hearing and we can't because we're trapped in this little bubble of cell signal. And we could just go, all right, guys, we're signing off. And we've had to do that before. That's how we usually end our live streams as we go, all right, it's time for us to move on. But this is going to open up so many doors, but it's going to be difficult to do.
Yeah. But
I think it would be really freaking cool. We tried to live stream from that cemetery on top of that mountain where when you did that weird Esty session, we started getting all the moans and howls and all that
and
stuff
stuff?
around
Yeah.
us. We had tried to live stream from there and we couldn't do it.
Mhm.
Remember that was the one where the live stream was like perpetually like trying to start,
Yeah.
and we couldn't end it because we couldn't do it, and everybody's going.
And they thought we were dead. I had to use my InReach Mini and contact Katie. She got.
Thank you for that, April. By the way, thank you.
Yeah,
So,
thank you, April. Did you see?
I was getting ready to go through
perfect.
all those. So yeah.
We had to contact Katie, and I was like, Katie, I think that our live stream is like hanging, and everybody thinks we're dead. So she had to get into the chat and kind of tell
because we've got that
okay.
satellite communicator, that satellite texter.
Yeah.
So we're sending satellite texts, but even those aren't instantaneous. You
Yeah.
have to wait to make contact with the satellite. So it's
This
not
is
like
going to be like blazing fast, high quality, and then able to be used anywhere. So
thank you, Victoria and Scott. Life of Victoria and Scott. Thank you so much. And then a couple other quick things here real quick. Gary, thank you so much.
thank you, Gary.
We appreciate it. We appreciate it. And then Curtis Whitaker. Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you, Curtis.
Curtis coming out strong out the gate. But it's gonna be something. So if you like the channel, you kind of like what we do, you would like to see more live on-site investigations. And there's like, especially some of the cooler places like old settlements and stuff like that,
Mhm.
that we could legit do on-site real-time paranormal investigations and share them with people. So if
Yeah.
anything happens, it's now you're not just seeing the video of it later, you're actually seeing it happen in real time. And if we had it that night, you were trying to do that Estes session up there, people could have heard in real time.
Wait a minute. Do we have ads on these live streams? Somebody just
shouldn't.
asked. Hang on one second. Let me pop on here. I'm gonna check this. You keep going.
Okay, we shouldn't have ads.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop that. I'm gonna see if we got
ads on the live streams now.
Yeah, that might be something.
YouTube's
new.
been changing a bunch of weird stuff. Like we have had trouble.
Yeah, it might be something new.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get that off because we don't want.
Let's see.
We
Go
don't-
ahead.
yeah, we don't
we'll work on
want-
this.
Red Dirt Cryptids. We actually have a clip in our next big video that's coming out explaining why we don't use electric bikes. It's because we climb over and climb under too much stuff.
Okay, so this we'll see. Let me know if you see another ad after that.
Yeah, because we
think
don't
I
want you guys to have to sit through. We're trying to fund this stuff, but we're not trying to fund it by being annoying. You know.
So I've cut
So-
those ads off of that for the live stream. Now, when it goes up later, it'll probably have ads on
Yeah.
it.
So
But for the live feed, I don't want ads on the live feed.
So, but we just, electric bikes would just be wasted on us. I mean, we just wouldn't be able to use them. I don't ever really see us doing them, unfortunately. I mean, trust me, it would be great. I mean, it would be phenomenal. It would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I would feel so much better after like a 2-day investigation.
Lady
But-
Wolf said, I've been jonesing big time for lives. Yeah, that's our problem is I love doing these live investigations for our members. I love showing you guys, like taking you out there and it's one thing to watch the video that I've edited, we made it back alive, we're
Yeah.
safe. It's another thing to watch in real time as we make these discoveries, have these experiences, and you can kind of contribute to that in a way.
Yeah.
We are discussing some experiments we want to do when we do these lives, where you guys can participate in the investigation.
Yeah.
So we're kind of batting around ideas about that. But with our live investigations, we are limited on the locations that we can actually get signal to stream on. And it's limited by the fact that my phone can change between 3 cell networks.
Yeah.
And that it's about to crap out. So we're like, we've got to find a way to be able to live stream from any location because we really want to go to these famous locations, to these insanely haunted locations, to these really remote locations where people are having these experiences. And we don't want to have to rely constantly on cell phone networks to actually achieve that goal. So it's within reach. It is a possibility. But it's all a matter of getting that capital to do this.
We could go back to the manor live.
We could go back to the manor.
I'm going to tell you right now that the manor.
That would be so cool.
We would have to take a third person with us. And here's why. It's so freaking sketchy up in there. And I'm just talking about from the human aspect of it. We would need an extra trigger finger up there with us. If I'm running around with a freaking satellite uplink hooked to my backpack and all this stuff, because that sketch ball cult-centric human element that's up there, even if they're not up there involved in cult stuff, they're up there doing shady stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's a shady place. It's a disgusting, shady place. So
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys saw any more ads. YouTube is constantly constantly changing settings. So
the way this Blute said that would be an awesome upgrade. It absolutely would. I'm looking forward to. There's a couple places. You know how we're gonna really hit the URE hard. There's a couple places out there that are bonkers.
The URE is like
bonkers.
Nuts, and I'm surprised that Julie Wrench, who we've been talking to, she's done a lot of stuff. She's caught some crazy audio up in the UREs, and there's people up there that have done it. But I'm just going with all of the stuff that comes out of the UREs and all the legends around it, all of the folklore, all of the witness sightings, all of the weird stuff that goes on. Why are people not just all over this? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's what we're gonna be doing. So thank you for that, Michael. We greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Enjoy your spine tingling investigations. Tingle some spines out there.
Tingling them spines, boy.
They're talking about unobstructed view with Starlink. Yeah, I've seen the app. I'm looking at it. I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to take it into certain parts of North Georgia where we're climbing under, mountain laurels and all of that. But especially through the fall in some of these, some of the forests where the leaves are down and everything like that, it's really going to open us up for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
And I was watching one guy who had it mounted to his car, and he had it mounted in the opposite direction that he was supposed to have it in.
And he was underneath a large oak tree.
And he was getting enough to make it.
It was blazing.
Yeah, interesting to look into. So
yeah. So no longer would we have one bar of 4G and try to do this. But so what our plan is if we end up getting this set up, we would do 2 live streams, 2 live investigations a month. So every other week, there would be a live investigation for members.
Yeah.
Every month. So every other week, live investigation out in the field, and they'd probably be about 2 hours or so each.
Yeah.
Depending on what happens, it might go longer, but it would be every other week. We'd be able to go to a different location and actually do live investigations. I'm just so excited thinking about it. It's like,
and again, like I said, it's not going to be flawless. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have some areas where it works better than others, but even we could go in, we could find somewhere like in the LBL, say, you know what I'm saying? Down there, like the Devil's Backbone, where Martin Groves has had a lot of encounters at, or had his near where he had his encounter at, and where a lot of people seem to have encounters at. And we could go down there and set up. It's going to open up a whole range of things. We've just got to figure out the mechanics on it. So enough about that.
Okay.
Anyway, keep in mind. So if you do enjoy it, maybe consider doing it, and it might be worth your while.
I turned the monetization off the video. I see everybody saying that they got an ad. I turned it off whenever somebody else brought it up. So we'll see.
Yeah. So they just normally they don't default to ads on live streams, but I guess they're doing that now.
It might be a new thing, but I have the monetization totally off on this. So hopefully we don't have ads popping in on our stream.
Okay. So a couple quick things from the chat here. Why does only one carry the equipment? Well, I'm the camera guy, so I have to carry the camera equipment. Jesse carries thermals, sensor tech,
water,
all that jazz. And then I'm carrying the camera. And I'm taller, so I will probably be the best bet to carry Starlink if that's the case, if we can make that work.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie Blue McGee, my friend Mark would like to know if y'all have heard of Not Deer. Yeah, Not Deer. Not Deer is one of those things that you never really heard a lot about until
it started being like a creepypasta.
And that kind of coincided around the time of COVID, when people started really moving into the South, where most of those stories originate at. And I think it was a combination of 2 things, because you never really heard a lot about it before. Deer act pretty weird sometimes, just in the,
I think one thing that freaks people out who have not really been around deer or anything like that is they will stand up on their back legs.
They will stand up
and
on their back legs.
Get vegetation out of higher hanging branches and trees.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody sees something like that.
Yeah.
And
then chronic wasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that gives them a zombified appearance.
Yeah.
There's also a herpes related virus.
Good God. Okay.
That affects deer as well. So they'll get covered in this, just these growths all over their faces. It's really, really bad. A lot of times they have to be put down because it grows over their face and their eyes and they can't see. But that's a thing that affects deer as well.
Yeah.
So that might be contributing to that. Or we could have some sort of shape-shifting demonic doe out there.
Oh, good God. But you did really see that a long time. And then it just kind of caught the thing. I'm not saying there's nothing to it, but I just think that it just kind of coincided with the mass migration to people to the south. And I think a lot of people that had previously been in urban environments didn't see deer, were now seeing deer, and they were going, something's wrong with these deer. Bonnie also said, if it makes money for y'all, I don't mind the ads. We're really big on, we used to have the ability to minimize ads. Obviously, the revenue helped a little bit after YouTube took its cut, and then it was taxed and everything like that. But YouTube decides all that right now. But on the live streams, at least, we don't want to take you out of the conversation. There'll be ads on the replay because YouTube puts them in there, but we don't want to do ads on a live stream. I mean, that's going to be annoying. Everybody will be into the conversation, and then all of a sudden you'll get an ad for like cat food. You know, I wonder how does it break up the live stream to where it's not live anymore?
I don't know. Miss a section of the live stream?
I don't know. So
seems like a bad.
Hopefully, if y'all see another one, let us know because we think we've got it turned off. So, our boy Ray, I've been trying to keep up with your investigations with life challenges. Love what you both do and bring it to your members. I've enjoyed your presentation and interviews. Hope this a little bit helps out. Stay safe. Thank you, Ray. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. We are rearing to go for this fall. We have got a lot of stuff lined up. We have got some cool things that we're doing.
We got some cool projects.
We are going to be doing a listening project where we're going to like blanket a few areas with listening, like with audio recorders.
Joe has been ankle deep in audio recorder research. We have a variety of audio recorders right now that we're running off of. We've got a new one that is going to be much better for this listening project. We are actually running this live stream. We don't have our normal mics here. We're running them off lav mics and one of the new recorders. This is like a test run for it. So that also means I'm not going to knock over my microphone while I'm doing my karate. So we're trying that. It's called a 32-bit float for those of you who are familiar with audio equipment, but it's going to, and I'm experimenting with some new microphones. So we're going to actually be blanketing. We've done long duration audio recorders. We've tried them at the Grove. It's never worked, but we've got another plan we're going to do in the Grove to try to get some audio stuff. I thought of something. What you got? If we end up getting this mobile live streaming unit, one of our first big investigations would be us going and climbing Table Rock where we see the Brown Mountain lights originate from. We climb that again. With that equipment. Oh, good God. All right. Oh, yeah. So. That's a Tori. Yeah, I'm in good health. I've got a lav mic on. I'm probably breathing a little too heavy for the lav mic. We're trying to get used to these to try to see how this new recorder works. Last time we used lav mics, I burned a lasagna. I started cursing because I forgot I had the lav mic on. He had the lav mic on. We were in the middle of the live stream, and it was a Christmas live stream. It was the Christmas live stream, and I had a lasagna in the oven, and I some of it overflowed. And caught fire, just a minor fire. It was a minor fire. And we just had a few smoke detectors go off. During the stream. And Joe got up and he had some choice words. I was just cursing nonstop. And then I looked down and went, I've got this damn lav mic on. Everybody just heard me. And I was like, kill the stream, take it down. I'm not ruining Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody. So, anyway. Moondog said, do some ghost hunting. I want to to do some ghost
She
hunting.
wants to branch onto some ghost hunting,
I'm
but
ready.
do it.
I used to do ghost hunting, and I'm going to get back to it. I'm ready to get back to it, especially with the contact modalities experiments that I'm going to be running coming up. That's the perfect opportunity to
I'm
really
gonna actually move my lab down. If you guys hear a little rustling real quick, sorry.
We won't have any important talking.
Oh, give me a second.
What's going on here?
I'm moving my lab down because it's picking me up breathing. There we go. Let's try that, shall we? So.
No, you're going to try to not breathe a lot too.
Not breathe a lot. So.
Jesus.
Anyway, Travis Schaefer, thank you for that, Travis. But the Starlink and Vienna sausage is fun. So, yeah, like I said, it's so we constantly talk about this, the stuff that's available to you now. You couldn't have done that. I was going to say 10 years ago. You couldn't have done some of this stuff a year ago.
Yeah.
And we just, I don't know. I'm excited. I think that having a live audience, it adds to it then. So instead of us just going, hey, this happened to us and here's this video, and you know how instantly you have people going, oh, they faked that. That's sound effects. They added that in later. No, we had people watching it with us in real time and experienced it at that point. So I do have to do something real quick.
What's that?
Our friend Josh wanted a shout out. We missed him on his birthday recently. Josh M.
Happy birthday.
Happy
belated birthday,
Josh.
Josh. We're sorry.
He's like, I keep asking for a shout out.
I'm sorry, Josh.
And I'm going, dude, I can't tell anything about what's going on.
I'm sorry, Josh. Josh, you're the best around. Nothing is gonna get you down. Happy birthday. Thank you.
Belated. So
I was looking at this Elkmont stuff. Everybody's talking about Elkmont. Elkmont, I'm assuming Elkmont is it's in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. It was a company town built by the Little River Lumber Company in 1908. So it's a ghost town.
Mhm.
We've done a ghost town before. We never released that video. We did a ghost town called Lost Cove in North Carolina. God, we could live stream from there, didn't we? That's a rough hike to get down in there. But I'll look into this and check out what about this. It does remind me a lot of other ghost towns that exist in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park because like a lot of places we investigate, that land was taken with eminent domain, just like the LBL. So there's a lot of towns that people were kicked out of, a lot of homes, a lot of homesteads. Most of the places we investigate have the remnants of homesteads on them, where people lived, people owned the property, and then it was taken for public land. And that seems to be a common theme with a lot of these places we investigate. So I will check this out. I will have that on my short list of things to do.
But Paul M., we haven't seen Paul for a while. How are you, Paul? May want to hold off on the ghost side for a minute. All the Conjuring fiasco is about to ruin all the ghost side of paranormal. Plus, it's brought out all the trolls to attack the para-channels.
Nice.
We've been watching the Conjuring House drama.
Been eating our popcorn,
as we can. Yeah, that's a debacle. The beautiful thing about it is that just like with the cryptid and the high strangeness portion of this, we are completely self-sufficient. We don't need other channels, or we don't need to pay people to come investigate their homes.
Yeah.
We're not doing that. We do solitary, and most of our paranormal stuff would be still outdoor related. And we would keep that
along with it. We're not going to pay to go investigate a closed down hospital or something like that. That's a lot of these paratourism things. But I just don't. I'd like to maybe do something indoors, but there'd have to be an outdoor edge to it because that's just not our style, So.
Yep. So.
That Conjuring House stuff's nuts, isn't it? Just bananas.
Whoa, it's bananas.
She's charging like $2,000.
And people are paying it like left and right. So.
And then all of a sudden, every paranormal YouTube channel has a Conjuring House investigation. At what point is it like, oh great, here we go. Here's somebody staying.
But I think that if you've got a project where basically what you do is you pay for these famous places to go investigate them.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens. Well, you're $2,000 in, you know what I'm saying? You need something at that point.
Yeah, you're definitely in the red on that one.
And I think that's where a lot of people
starts of hoax stuff.
Start to like go check out these blobs of dust that I'm going to call orbs, or check this out. So I just don't ever see us doing that. But you know what, I can't say never. Who knows, man? We might one day decide, let's go do like a flat out paranormal. But I mean, as far as like, that's like our whole shtick, is we're just doing a circuit of like all the places that you see like on all the ghost shows and all that. I don't do that. So April Black want to know anything about the hair sample you collected. Nope, we still got it. I don't know what it is. I mean, it might be people hair. It's not bear. Somebody was like, oh, that's black bear fur. And I'm going, this black bear has hair as long as like Jesse's, if that's the case. So we've still got it. We've got it in a paper envelope. We've got it in a dehumidifier to keep it dry, dehumidifying cabinet, and we just got it. So we've just got it. It's with the few other hair samples that we've taken over the years. So and then Stephen James, hello from Ireland.
Oh,
hello.
You'll see we have our Irish flag on display here.
So Jay Satori had asked, what's the scariest place you've both been?
For different reasons, different places. In terms of threat to our physical safety because of a human element, Corpsewood Manor.
Corpsewood Manor.
In terms of a terrifying paranormal crap is going down in a high strangeness kind of way, what would you say?
North Georgia.
Yeah.
Panther Town used to, we
got to return to
we got to go back to Panther Town and check it out. But North Georgia probably, just on the fact that there's been Grove,
so much tangible evidence.
Stuff happens in the Grove, but I still think that something's messing with us there, and that something's entertainment there. North Georgia, I'm going to have to start shooting here in a few seconds. I'm just going to start popping around, and haven't had to, but
in North Georgia, there is some sort of dark, ancient, deep-seated evil there. And we've gotten so much tangible evidence from the burning light, these weird things like physical markers that things are leaving behind, the evidence that's being left behind. We know that something is up there and something has a physical presence to it. The weird audio that we have gotten on several occasions, we know that something has a physical presence to it, that there is something out there with us, that we're not alone out there in the woods. So I think that is probably, in terms of high strangeness and paranormal stuff, that's the craziest, scariest place we've ever been.
Robert wants to know when the next members video. Jesse's going to be releasing a presentation for members, and then we are going to have a members investigation as soon as I'm weird to try the Starlink thing, man, because if that Starlink thing goes right as the weather cools down, sky's the limit at that point, kid. So we could easily do like 2 a month live, just
2 a month live.
I think it'd be challenging, but I think we could do it. So
easily.
I think we could do it.
Yep, we'd add that in there.
The Deuster, the project should be ready to test this week. He needs a test object.
Oh boy.
The Wizard of Soggy Bottom is
building something for him.
And what's crazy is I was comparing him to Oz, and it was the great and powerful Oz, but I called Dewey the great and terrible Dewey Edwards. I'm gonna stick with that. The great and terrible Dewey Edwards he's got his mad scientist cap on and is in his laboratory. And he's got a couple of projects that we've been kind of going back and forth with him on. Actually, and it was crazy because I just mentioned him to him at Tennessee Wildman Con. And then the next thing I know, he's like in electronics catalogs ordering stuff and everything like that. So if he doesn't like open up an interdimensional gate testing this stuff, we're gonna have some pretty cool stuff here. Pretty cool stuff. Moondog says the Manor. I love how everybody knows how to just call it the Manor.
The Manor. I think we said it earlier, but
the Manor would be a pretty good little thing. All right, what else we got here?
I'm way behind on the chat. I'm still at the part where I burned the Christmas lasagna.
Burned the Christmas lasagna. Carl Baker says hunting Bigfoot and hunting ghosts, just about the same in my book.
Yeah.
I talk about that all the time, that not all the time, but frequently, that I think a lot of Class B stuff, when you look at like Bigfoot reports for an area and those Class B reports, I didn't see anything, but I heard a scream, something got thrown at me, I smelled something really bad, I heard something, I smelled something like that, but I didn't see a Bigfoot. But people are like, well, that's a Class B Bigfoot encounter. No, I mean, it's something, you know what I'm saying? But just because somebody has seen a Bigfoot down the road, you didn't see a Bigfoot, you had something thrown at you, you heard a scream.
Yeah. Maybe
it's Bigfoot, but I agree with you that I think a lot of people, they're just so geared towards Bigfoot that when they encounter paranormal activity in the woods, they just go, oh, that only happens inside of four walls. They don't think that that's what that is.
Yeah, I think somebody asked another thing similar to that.
Valhalla wants to know, what do you guys enjoy doing the most in the field? I'm just curious. As long as we don't break equipment, I like being out in challenging conditions and really rough to get places. We will just have this moment where we look at each other and just go, this is just the wildest stuff ever. You know what I'm saying? So,
I think we really had one of those moments when we were climbing up Table Rock across the Linville Gorge from Wiseman's View, when we were doing the Brown Mountain Lights experiment.
Yeah.
It was still lightning all around us. It was pouring down rain. You and I are climbing this mountain. It's water everywhere, and we're climbing a pretty challenging way up the side of this mountain. And it was exhilarating. It was very exciting. And we were on our way to do something. And then there was also that fear of, what if we're over here and one of these lights that we see coming out of this mountain just manifests right in front of us? Yeah. What are we going to do at that point? So we just had so much adrenaline going. We were trying not to get struck by lightning, trying not to.
But it's moments like that where
it's moments like that where you're just like,
it's just you're, what's the coolest thing for me is just that when it's like very challenging, but everything's still firing on all cylinders. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Like when we were Brown Mountain, just like we talked about, we're with Alex Petikoff, and we're talking about things that we can do to replicate the lights that we saw. What can we do? We'll be on one mountaintop, you be on the next mountaintop. We'll do this. And I'm like, here's what we'll do. We'll shine ultra bright flashlights, camping lanterns in white and red. We'll shine lasers. We'll shine ultraviolet. We'll shine infrared. We'll shine red light. We'll do this, that, the other. And he's like, do you have all that? And I'm like, hell yeah, we got all that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got that in the car. So it's just those moments when like all the preparation and the just planning and the just constant experimenting just comes to fruition. That's my favorite stuff. So, so let's see. Somebody asked if you ever considered an RV travel trailer. We thought about it, but like the area, we had to chainsaw our way out of the area we were in this weekend.
Yeah, and I was going to say, we were talking about challenges doing this. This week, we were out following up on our last investigation where we actually found that arch. And I got a crazy thermal. We didn't even mention that I got a crazy thermal hit, but that'll be in the video. I'm working on.
Let's talk about that.
I'm working on this. Let me make a mess here. I'm working on those videos right now from that. Now we showed you guys the archway that we found. We showed you guys the spiral made of white quartz.
Mm-hmm. So we were moving towards, because as the crow flies, this spot is within hiking distance from that tree where we've got that audio at.
We call it the offering
tree because we would find pieces of quartz stacked up around the roots. And then we came back one time and the quartz was gone and there was a feather there between the two main roots of it. And it just feels important when you're there. It just feels like it's the center of that entire patch of forest. It's very odd. And when we looked at it, I was just like, it's like somebody is leaving offerings to whatever this is. So around this tree. So we're going down this path and it's very overgrown with mountain laurels. And you're literally going, we think it's an old like logging road possibly, or an old Forest Service road probably. Yeah. Or maybe there were settlements back there once upon a time. This might have been an old dirt road going back to them before it became national forest. But there's a flat spot, but it's grown in all over. You're going through a tunnel of mountain laurels, basically. And to your right, it goes up, and to your left, it goes down to some water. And we were going, and Jesse is scanning with their thermal as she goes, because there's little breaks in the mountain laurels, and she catches like a heat signature, and it's like looking at us from around a tree. And we're going, because we know it goes down, it's kind of uneven. I'm going, is that something small looking at us? Like, like a raccoon or something like that is peeking around a tree at us. Is it big? It looks big. It looks like we're seeing the upper part of something kind of look at us around a tree. And Jesse films it for like a few minutes, and I'm going, I couldn't get back there with a machete right now. It's too thick, I mean, we'd have to crawl, and I don't want to be crawling on my belly if that is something there looking at it beyond just like a raccoon. So what's weird is it disappears. We talk about it. And then all of a sudden my camera, and I'm using the camcorder that we're streaming from right now. Good Sony, nice camcorder. It's the same ones that Alex and Small Town Monsters use. If you watch Expedition Bigfoot, when they're using the camcorders, same ones that everybody uses in the field, they're great. And it didn't power off. It just went into standby mode as if I had hit the stop recording button. Now, I run a backup audio recorder when we're out there. We have lav mics in, so we can kind of like...
And that's not connected to the camera at all?
Not connected to the camera at all.
Because I have to sync up that audio with the camera video.
Completely separate audio system. And the reason we do that is I have a shotgun mic turned up to max sensitivity.
Which will grab all the ambient sound as well as any far off sounds that we get, whether it be tree breaks, tree knocks, vocalizations, growls, anything like that that's in the area around us and even in the distance.
So we've got that set up, but that's terrible to pick up close noises, like our voices. They level out, they max out.
Clip out, yep.
So I've got another audio system going. That runs for like 2 seconds, and then that stops working. And we didn't even realize that later because I was so focused on the camera, I didn't even think to look whether somehow our camera stops recording as if something hit the stop recording button. And then our digital audio recorder was still powered on. That stops recording as if somebody hit the stop button, but with just in seconds of each other. So
within
for the rest
seconds, but not at the exact same moment.
No, not at the exact same moment. It's just within, like the video went down and then you hear us on audio with me going, wait, my camera just went down. And I can't remember what all you said. Is it okay? And I'm like, no, it just stopped recording as if, and then that audio cuts. So we went back to that area and looked at it.
Of course, it's raining.
It's raining, so we're shooting with a GoPro. I had to waterproof up a GoPro. Not the best footage. It's dark. It's overcast. We're in not a lot of light. We're using headlamps and just like a camera light to try to like bring some light into it. Mm-hmm. We go back there, and the first thing I said is this is shades of the LBO. When we saw that thing with the big pointed ears on thermal, and we went back and we realized that it was in a gully leaning over looking at us. There's like it drops off, and then there's like a little flat spot. So I got in there, and you can see me peeking around the tree, standing where what Jesse saw.
So I stood where I was when I had the AGM thermal, and Joe went down on this little platform, almost what it is. And I said, because it's dark, I said, turn your headlamp on. So I filmed him coming and peeking out from behind the tree. And Joe is 6'3", mm-hmm. and his headlamp was shining exactly in the spot where I was catching the top.
And then she goes back there, and I can't see her. I can kind of see a little bit above it, but so it looks as if something my size was peeking at us from around a tree, standing on this ledge, before the drop off. And then seconds after that, after it disappears, camera goes out, and then the secondary audio recorder goes out. Batteries are fine on both of them. They're still on. That's why I didn't know that the audio recorder had stopped recording. But I don't know what that means. But it's we saw something on thermal big looking at us, and then our equipment, both pieces of equipment, malfunctioned one after the other immediately after that, within seconds. So I don't know. Mr. Paul says we should try the Ryoko Pro Wi-Fi hotspot.
I wrote that down.
You got that written down? Thank you for that, Paul.
I'm going to look.
We'll look into that.
Look at that because That, I mean, any kind of option would be great, because I love doing those live investigations. Everybody really enjoys doing really watching the live investigations, because you get to experience it being there. You get to experience it in real time. But the videos are a lot of fun, and we actually have really cool.
We can get
storytelling
ideas from people. People will go do this, and we'll take a second, and we'll get on the chat and go, all right, throw some stuff at us real quick.
Nut Slap is going to tell us to do some crazy stuff.
Yes, indeed. So the slap. Thank you for that, Michael. Some contribution for streaming tech of your research and content. Hopefully, we're going to be able to get this figured out and take you guys along on the ride.
I've got the stabilized thermal if you want me to play some of it.
You got the stabilized version of it? Now, keep in mind, Jesse we couldn't tell. So it's going down. I just
realized I uploaded it because I sent it to you.
She's having to kind of squat and get it. So it's a little shaky. And that's why we didn't know if it was big or small. And then when we went there, I just my exact words were like, all right, I'm having like flashbacks to the LBL. There's a drop off here. Something was standing here looking around us. We were seeing the top part of something looking around us then. You want to share it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll share it. It's going to be in the video, so you'll have context and everything. So don't expect context here. This is just the thermal video, and there's no audio because the thermal imaging camera does not do audio, but we were filming with the main cam while we were doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I think I marked some stuff if you want to take a look at that while I'm putting this together.
Go ahead. So, man, we had a topic tonight. We're all over the damn place now.
Well, our topic was... it's fall, baby.
Fall, baby. So, Centurion wants to know if y'all ever scanned any tracks you find with the thermal to see if they may be fresh. We have, and usually they're old when we find them, but we have found. Jessie thought she saw something not too terribly long ago, and we went up, and there was some weird heat on the ground that was dissipating. But again, you don't know what the heat. There weren't any real discernible prints there, so we've done that. But we've tried. We just haven't. The only time we've really caught what I considered a fresh print is we found.
When you say fresh print, I always think of Fresh Prince.
The fresh print, we found we were on some old logging roads one night in a different part of Georgia. And
this was like really close to the North Carolina line. Like we were probably in North Carolina at that point because we had hiked back so far. We were right up.
The roads don't make any sense there. I don't know why they were put there. They're not logging roads. They don't make sense for Forestry Service roads. Most of them are pretty much just, they're level, but there's just trees everywhere in them. You just can't really, they're very hard to pass through. But we found a big footprint that was filling in with water. That was fresh. It was fresh. And I looked at Jessie and I was just like, we both need to get prepared right now because this could be the one night we have a face-to-face sighting, like encounter something, which we didn't. And what's crazy is we've gone back into that particular area multiple times. We've never had anything happen. We've never seen anything weird, nothing, but we didn't have a thermal back then. So we couldn't have used it, but
I'm writing down Nomad Internet, by the way, Pyro.
Smog 13, will we ever hear the Panther Town story? We've talked a little bit about Panther Town in bits and pieces. Part of it, the end part of it is so weird still to this day. I am uncomfortable talking to people about it a lot just because we were there and it sounds crazy to me. But we need to kind of just do like a Panther Town thing sometime. So we'll do something like that up.
Yeah.
EDP Everyday Pyro, still need to run that weird audio through that program on your computer. I know you have a ton going on, but that was some strange audio indeed. I think he's talking about the 3 things talking to each other.
Yeah,
it sounds like.
Because I'm playing with the idea of this being. This is so weird for me to say. I'm considering the idea of the arch and the stuff that we're finding in that particular area to be Fae related. And
I don't know.
I know it stresses you out when I say
it's
that.
Just it's
so
well. I mean, it's
crazy.
It is crazy, and even being familiar with the folklore.
But I don't know. I mean, at this Cherokee Little People. I mean, this is all kind of. This could be all just same kind of thing.
Well,
it's just different. We have different ways.
We also found a large footprint up there this past weekend, not far from there. And then I'm going. People will go, oh, it's juvenile Sasquatch. And I go, I'm always back to this. Where are the parents at? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you have like a Bigfoot Lost Boys type thing going on here. It's just a bunch of juveniles. There's no adults. There's no parents. But then and this seems sophisticated.
Yeah.
This seems very sophisticated. I'm not seeing large stuff here. I'm seeing small stuff. But then we found what appeared to be a large footprint, but it was inconclusive. Weather was bad. So
Michael M. Asked this question. He goes, can fresh tracks hold heat visible by thermal cam? I don't think so, but what's your opinion? If you are in your living room with a thermal and you have a cat or a dog and your dog or cat walks across your floor, you'll see little paw prints.
It dissipates quickly, but you can do it if it's fresh.
Yeah.
I almost think that if we had that one that we saw that night, water is still running. It had just gotten made.
I don't know if we had a thermal.
We didn't have a thermal, but it would have picked it up.
Yeah. I've got this queued up if you want to watch some of this.
All right, so take a look at this.
You're struggling.
I'm not saying it's evidence of anything. It's evidence of something weird, and it's evidence that you'll see the footage where we go into where it was and we discover the little plateau thing there where I'm going, it looks like something was standing here that was my height looking at us from around this tree, it's what it looks like. And then it's just extremely weird that the camera cuts and then the audio cuts. Neither one of them have ever stopped working before. Those are like two of our best pieces of equipment.
Mm-hmm.
We've had GoPros that all of a sudden fail. We've had the Phasm cameras fail. We've had some weird camera stuff, but never where it just goes into standby. And that's what happens when I hit the stop recording button. And then the same thing for the audio recorder. So the exact same malfunction with two different pieces of technology seconds apart.
Yeah.
Is weirder than hell. Right after we saw something weird on the thermal looking at us. So the thermal is not like, you don't see like the outline of a Bigfoot or anything like that, but you do see something peeking out at us, man. And if you see a raccoon's a raccoon. A raccoon doesn't just peek out at you. A raccoon will eventually show itself. Mm-hmm. We see armadillos all the time. We'll hear rustling.
Get frightened by armadillos.
Yeah, we'll see a little blob of heat, and then the armadillo walks out, and we see the outline of the armadillo on the thermal. This clearly is something that's literally, if this is a tree, let me line my hand up with the camera. There we go. And it's doing that.
Yeah.
Just constantly.
There is a very important point that I need to put up here that it needs to not be glossed over at any point in time. Suji says farts can be seen on thermal.
Yes, they can. That is my favorite thermal image. It's the guy where the guy is sneezing, peeing, and farting all at the same time on thermal, and you just see it all. So.
All right. I'm going to show you guys some of this video. So this is from my thermal. I stabilized it a little bit because I don't have it on the old stickeroonie, but we're going to show this to you guys. Swoosh. All right. Let's take a look. Shall we?
Shall we?
All right. So you can hear us commentating on here because there's no audio on this. But look, you can see it right there. It is, my thermal's on red hot. So you're going to get a red little burst right there in the middle there. That is something hot. So what you're seeing, well, I'm moving around. There we go. This is this is a drop off right here. So this drops straight down, like 6 feet?
Mm-hmm. Look at that. There's a line of heat there. That's not a little round mammal. You're seeing, it looks like an upright figure.
Oh, you really see it in a minute.
Peering around the thing there.
You really see it in a minute. It'll really pop out. Because it really moves over, it goes.
Look at that.
There it goes.
Yeah, you can see that. It's
there. See, and it's moving around.
Something.
So when we go over there, and I filmed Joe jumping down on that little platform. There it is, looking around the tree, just looking around the tree at us. That's exactly what that is. And so that's a drop off right there that goes down about 6 feet. It goes down there 5-6 feet. And it goes to a little flat area behind that tree right there. So whatever this is looking up from this platform at us around that tree. So it's pretty bizarre, in my opinion. But yeah. So there's that. What do you guys think?
some pretty wacky stuff.
Michael Tovar asks, what is your estimation on size?
At least 6'3".
Yeah, because we went back and went to the exact spot where we captured this. Luckily, we know exactly where we captured it because I'm on, Joe's filming me when I initially captured this. So I'm filming with the thermal and he's filming with the camera. So we have the exact moment when I capture this on camera. And then it disappears and then our equipment all just craps the bed.
And that's the weird thing too, because I was looking at the camera screen when I saw it go into standby. And I went, the hell? My hands are, I've got a tripod mounted. My hands are on the tripod. It's nowhere near and then I'm going, like, what the hell? And I'm going, all right, we got a prop, my camera just went out. And then when we got back home, Jesse's like, you realize your recorder stopped too? And I'm like, no, because I just glanced at it. It still had power. I assumed it was running. No, it had stopped recording at that point.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just extremely odd. And we got the camera back up running like immediately afterwards. It started filming again. Of course, we were walking away from that spot, but Bonnie had said, I'd heard someone posit that entities don't need to drain energy to manifest. They drain it because they don't want to be recorded.
That's an interesting, good point. That's a good way to look at that.
Yes.
Wow. I'm looking through here. I got some marked if you want to take a look at those.
Okay. Sam Burton's going back to the manor as soon as the humidity drops enough. If you remember, Sam Burton got chased out of the manor by people. He stumbled across them. They were setting up to do some sort of occult ritual.
Yeah.
That was what, 2 years ago? That was last year. It was last Halloween. We were in the LBL at that time. So,
Nutslap said it looks like an upright figure.
It does look like an upright figure, and it's not a smoking gun of anything, but you'll see the footage of it when we go back and we go, I mean, that was the first thing in my mouth. I'm like, flashback to the LBL. There's a drop off here. Something was looking at us and standing on this drop off. Now, I don't think it was much taller than me because there was like a ceiling of mountain laurel branches above me and they were almost touching my head. And so it couldn't have been much taller than me. I mean, I guess it could have been. I guess it could have been crouched down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just because I wasn't crouched. Yeah, I guess it could have been bigger than me.
Could have been.
But if it wasn't Jessie's size, because
I couldn't really see over the
couldn't see over it. We couldn't see her. And we had our headlamps on, so that way I go, all right, I see she saw my headlamp.
I think there might be a little confusion here. This will be in the video and you'll understand everything. Because Kaiju Ninja 1985 just asked, is that when you ran towards it and nothing was there? No. This is from a week and a half ago.
Yes, this is extremely recent. So
yes, no, it is not from the Grove. It's in North Georgia and it's from a week and a half ago.
Cultivar asked, do you think Sasquatch travel in between seasons, like go to certain areas to get warm and avoid the cold? I don't know. People talk about that there's migration patterns and they've tracked migration patterns. Here, the areas that are active all year long. And I think that if there was like migration going on, the South at least is covered with roads. You would see more. I mean, you see roadside crossings, you see road crossings. That's what people mostly report. But it just seems like the more road crossings there are, the more chances of one of them getting hit. And then where's that? I don't know. I know that the areas that we're in, and that's weird because I'm going, what do they eat in some of these areas? How are they avoiding being detected all of the time? And they're just seen sometimes. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But I can tell you right now that I haven't seen, at least in our areas, any sort of migratory pattern that I could go. Or like, hey, it's active between this month and this month, but then these months it's quiet.
And
it doesn't seem to follow.
Kind of bouncing off of this, that I don't think this is some natural creature. I don't think this is some natural creature that is behaving in a way that normal animals behave. Joe Mapes asked, why would a Bigfoot or any creature be afraid to be recorded? How could it understand this?
How does it? And I always go back to that. How would an undiscovered ape do any of this stuff? Okay. Because you hear that they're just undiscovered apes. And then I go, these are the luckiest damn apes we've ever heard of. Where's the stupid ones? Where's the ones with, I'm getting ahead of myself. Or they're people. And I'm going, well, people are idiots. There's people, you get 100 people, 20 of them are going to be dumber than hell. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting point here. Also, Magical Journey says the video felt feral people. I don't know.
So who knows? We didn't find any prints there.
No.
We didn't. And guess what? Whatever that archway and those spirals were,
We don't know
something with hands, but we don't know what made it. They were small.
We didn't see anything. We didn't see what made it, so we have no clue. They seem like they're on the smaller side.
And we found small footprints through there, but guess what? We found a big footprint this past weekend too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But if it's people up there, if it's like legit what you would consider feral people up there, that's almost more hard for me to swallow than like Sasquatch, you know? But anyway, but my thing is that I that's why I have such a problem with this undiscovered ape thing, or just forest people. They're not people. It's people make mistakes. People screw up. All right. They're all told, avoid humans. Don't do this. Don't do this. There's always that one jackass daredevil that's going to push it too far, and it's going to get hit by an 18-wheeler. You know what I'm saying?
That's me.
It would be you. You would be you.
I'm the jackass daredevil.
If you were a Bigfoot,
if I were,
you would be the one that brought the whole thing crashing down on all of them. You know what I'm saying? So
I'd do that just so I have some peace in my life. I don't have people like
us out looking,
running around.
Why is this dude out here running around with all of this weird
up in
stuff?
my business constantly?
Get out of here, guys. And people will. I will say this though: people will always go, "You need to leave them alone. They're not bothering you. Give them their peace." And I sometimes just go, "How they got a point there?" You know.
We're really annoying.
It's a public force, though. Go where I want. I'll do what I want.
We're really annoying, aren't we?
I'll do what I want. So
it's bad when you realize that you're the problem, isn't it?
Exactly. So, oh, Hawk, our boy Hawk. What's up, Hawk? Hawk, I hope you're holding in, man. Summer's almost over, buddy. You're gonna break from that heat. Have y'all ever seen
TikTok? It's almost done.
Have y'all ever seen the pitch that Jeff Yellick captured in Colorado? The subject was standing behind a pine tree, and there was a downgrade behind the pine tree. I think I know what you're talking about. Let me see. Hold on. I'm not as well versed in Bigfootology as
Sasquatchly, Gigi. What are we looking for?
It is. Look at that. It's down in a little. Yeah. Okay. I'm intrigued. Thank you for that, Hawk, for both the
I'm gonna write that down
and that. Yeah, so we can look at that on a bigger screen when we get done here. So
Gillick. Yeah. I don't know. Again, that thermal footage is very inconclusive because all I have is a red splotch going, from behind a tree. But it's bizarre. We went back to the area and saw that nothing short could stand there and look over that because I'm 5'2" and I really couldn't look over that hill at all. I don't know. So we know it wasn't a wombat.
And you see it. It's
and it kind of comes over.
There's length to it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not a round little
and it's
varmint.
Not something just there because it moves back and kind of conceals itself and then it kind of comes back out again.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's not a smoking gun. It's not. The timing, all of it's so weird because we see, and then all the other thing too is that when we had light, we could see easily how to get down there.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
So we're gonna follow this. We're gonna start this with Better with the Irish. Thank you for that super chat, sir. Exactly. That's why I think their energy is an interference, an interfering frequency. You've been looking into this microwave theory.
Yep.
Could the use of that kind of energy affect electronics in any kind of way?
If something out there is able to harness and direct energy to the point where they are able to use microwave auditory phenomena in order to beam words into your head, nothing's off the table at that point. You know? That's what really started to get me on like the infrasound thing. You won't see infrasound. Well, let me put it like this. Infrasound could affect your electronics, but you would literally feel it vibrating and it would probably have vibrated you so much.
Infrasound or microwave?
Infrasound. That's why I've got on the thing going that I don't think it's infrasound causing this stuff. I think there's some sort of electromagnetic, or maybe it's something we don't even have a term for. Maybe it's something like John Keel's super spectrum. It's outside of the accepted electromagnetic spectrum.
It's something we haven't even discovered yet.
And it's something that has the ability to affect our electronics. It can affect our meat electronics. It can affect our circulatory system. It can affect our brains. It can like have a biological effect on us, sometimes temporary, sometimes more permanent. And, but yeah, that's the thing. But it's just, again, man, if you ask me right now, you're going into an area that you have had equipment issues in, what are you taking with me? I'd take that camera, I'd take that audio recorder. I have had the least amount of problems with those anywhere.
Yeah. And
I've never had a problem. Audio, like video goes out and then the audio just goes out right after that. They're powered by separate power sources. They're not even, they're not connected in any way. They're separate.
They're completely independent.
They're independent of one another for a reason. And then for that to happen,
for redundancy's purpose,
yeah,
and they both crap out on us.
Yeah, they both crap out on us. It's the craziest damn thing. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Shade Viking, thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shade Viking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of people who have renewed their memberships with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I'm putting them on there. Smog, Country Ocean Girl, Schmog, our boy Schmog.
Schmog.
Alan Howell, Grizz was up there a second ago. Larry Sharp. Seabass Blue.
Thank you, Seabass Blue.
Seabass Blue. Shabazz. But so I don't know, man. I just don't know what. And then Stingray shows up. Domingo, fix me another whiskey sour, will you?
Fresh squeezed lemon juice.
But
I'm not an animal.
So I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird, and it's I don't know, man.
Travis Schaefer speculates it has something to do with the anal probing by the aliens.
It might very well. You know what I'm saying? So
light them up, boys.
What'd you say?
Light them up, boys.
But so I don't know, man. I don't know. It's weird. I kind of sound like a broken record right now, but it's just we deal with this equipment like almost every damn day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We've had weird equipment like battery drain before. We've had weird static. I'm going to be honest with you. The closest thing that I've seen happen to this is when the digital audio recorder just shut down in that one spot, but it's a mechanical switch. We didn't hear anything use the mechanical switch.
Yeah.
We didn't hear anything approach it. We didn't hear anything pick it up. That behaved just as if somebody hit the stop button on the recording. Makes the little noise, goes into standby. And then the digital audio recorder, as if somebody hit the stop button there, and then they're both still functional. They both still had power. There's no corrupted memory cards. There's nothing like that.
Oh, thank God there's no corrupted memory cards because we have proof of it. Here's an interesting one. JD Smooth says, Joe, do you think with them vibrating to cloak themselves could be doing that?
I don't know. I mean, and it's weird because it sounds like a hippy dippy thing to say, but so much is vibration and frequency and everything like that around us.
As Ron Moorhead would say.
But I just...
These things are vibrating on a different frequency. You have to understand.
Sean Connery or are you Ron Moorhead?
Men of accolade have very similar voices.
But I just don't know what... I don't know. It just possibly. But again, we're running into stuff that's targeted. Well, I can't say that's targeted. Maybe that was just a general sort of weird interference. And
you've not really said anything like, direct in all this. It's just, we have no clue.
I have no clue. Maybe it was targeted. Maybe it was just a general weird energy, but it seems like that.
It's absolutely bizarre that two pieces of independent equipment, one of which is a video camera.
Thermal was already turned off.
Thermal was already
disappeared
on because this disappeared, and we looked over there. This thing was gone, and we went in the direction that we kind of saw it dip off.
Yeah, And
that's when the camera crapped out, and then the audio crapped out. But it didn't happen at the exact same moment. The audio was a couple seconds after, because I have a little bit of that audio where you're saying my camera just cut off. It goes beep, and then I hear you say my camera just cut off, and then the audio goes.
Bizarre. Joe Mapes, can infrasound be detected, recorded, and tracked by any animal that uses? Well, I mean, most animals use infrasound for communication, mark their territory, stuff like that. Generally, like tigers will emit infrasound that travels a great distance to tell other tigers to stay the F out of my hunting grounds. I'm here. You know, they're solitary. They have a wide range. So obviously, yeah, they can detect it. If they can emit it for that purpose, then other members of the species will be able to detect it. Whales use it for communication, rhinos, gators, everything like that. So generally, if they can emit it, they do have the ability to detect it as well. You can't pick up infrasound with off-the-shelf audio recording equipment. Off-the-shelf audio recording equipment follows the human range of hearing, 20 hertz, 20,000 hertz. There's no reason you need special equipment like what we have to be able to detect it. Even then, you're not recording it because there's nothing auditory for you to hear. You're detecting it. You're detecting the sound pressure levels. God, we're getting nerdy tonight, man, with the equipment and the infrasound and everything like that, man. Let my nerd flag fly.
Derek Davis says David Paulides was behind the
Oh, good God. Eventually what's going to happen is we are going to be asked to speak somewhere. Okay.
He's going to be there.
And he's going to be there speaking, and we're going to go, hi, Mr. Paulides, so nice to meet you. We're really big fans of your work. And he goes,
he's going to spit on
and he's going to turn around and he's just going to go, well, you know, when I'm not killing people in national parks, Joe, I like to meet my fans. Nice to meet you. And I'm going to be like, oh, whoops. Somebody clued you into the show there, huh, Mr. Paulides? Sorry, sir.
It's just, you know, it's all in good fun. No reason to get angry about it.
Bob in Michigan, donating to the Clean Underwear Fund for when you run into one face-to-face. Probably need it, to be honest with you. So probably need it. Thank you for that, Bob in Michigan.
Maybe you can stop wearing those, like, edible fruit by the foot underwear.
Good God, you couldn't even get that out.
I could.
So
Do they still make those? You remember those?
I do remember those.
You go to Sam's. Go to Sam's Club. Get the mega pack. Go to Spencer's. Is what I meant to say.
Hawk says this too. Joe, I've witnessed a guy going down hard from whatever they can do. It never affected us. He went down like he was punched. People do have different levels of sensitivity to infrasound. It might irritate Jesse and it might not irritate me, but that's it. There's not even then, it doesn't happen to that degree. Whatever is happening is targeted, exactly what you're talking about.
You're mostly just irritated by people saying wrong things about it than the actual.
Yeah, the actual infrasound itself. But no, you're right. It's that's something that's like an invisible ray or something like what the hell, man? But I mean, it's not a sound wave. That's like saying I'm going to speak right now and I've got two people in front of me, but I'm going to speak in a way that only this person can hear me and that person can't. That's how sound travels. It goes out, it radiates, but this doesn't radiate. It seems to go on a line sometimes, and that's what it doesn't make sense. But I mean, you're not alone in experiencing that, man. People have experienced that. Whole group of people.
I've been marking some stuff if you want to.
Okay.
Changling it. That's not even a word. I just made that up. You like that? Mr. Science Man over here. I'm creating language.
Reverend PC, can the interference they produce be why we don't have more clear photos or vids of cryptids? Yeah. I mean, it's difficult. You don't see wildlife photographers who are trying to capture elusive known animals out there with like iPhones doing it. They are trained at what they do. They're very practiced at what they do, and they use very specialized equipment. Cell phone cameras are crappy trying to catch things like that. And then even people like us who are going out with specialized equipment, you see what we run into sometimes. So yeah, I think that is it. I think that we had all that equipment go down at Station 16 in the LBL.
I was thinking about that too.
And that was weird. And that was just piece after we got out using like a pen light, and we had battery backup handles for the cameras. And one of those was down to its last leg when we got out, but everything was wiped. And some of those batteries never charged back up. I could never get them to hold a charge after that. But this is just weird. Just the camera and then the audio recorder. So did something literally go, I've drawn a narrative here. Did something literally go, I don't want them filming me. That's also doing something. I'm going to get rid of that. Or was it just some sort of general interference there that affected the camera first and then affected the audio recorder? I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm baffled by it. So
Bob in Michigan says, what do you guys think of AI being used to flub sighting videos? We've covered this before. There's nothing that can be done. This is just going to be the natural progression of things. And there's some people who are interested in this topic who won't believe anything they see, even if it's a genuine piece of evidence. And then on the other hand, there's people who will believe everything you put in front of them. So it doesn't matter what you say to them. In the middle are people who take a nuanced view at whatever is put in front of them. But you have to be careful nowadays, more than ever, I guess, because AI is present and it's getting better and better and better exponentially. I think it was in Terminator that they said that August 29th is when it went online and it started to exponentially get stronger and stronger. So that's what's happening is these videos are going to get better and better. It's all a matter of, I guess it's where whoever took the video it comes in.
Well, here's the deal. You can't trust anything you see on TikTok, whether it's real or not at this point. If you don't see context to what you're seeing, what happened before the video itself, and then what happened immediately afterwards. If it's just a clip, scariest Bigfoot sighting ever, I don't trust those now. At this point, it's same thing with just solitary images on Facebook or Instagram, something like that. I mean, if we got a full-blown sighting of Sasquatch on camera, you would be context. There'd be stuff before it, after it, everything like that. And I think that without that context, any individual image or video, and you don't know who took it, where it came from, where was this at, nothing like that at all. Beyond just the text there, you need to see the video before it, the video after it, everything like that. Otherwise, AI is too good, man. Yeah. It's just too good, and you can't do it. So better with the irises, perhaps they feel or see the EMF from devices. Just like with infrasound, the things that generate infrasound can detect infrasound. They can, if they have the ability to emit some sort of electromagnetic stuff. Yeah. Which, come on, man, that's not unheard of in nature itself.
I mean, that's why you have hex suits.
Yeah, I mean, but you also have electric eels. You have, bioluminescence that occurs. You have your body is basically just one big, electrical impulse going on right now, your brain down to your toes at this point. So
somebody asked when we're going to team up with the Ames team and look for the smoke wolves.
Smoke wolves.
I think it was pork chop. What's up, Martin Groves? How are you doing?
What's up, Martin Groves? So, but that's what we got. All right, let's see what else we're missing here real quick.
Yeah, we're coming up on the end now.
We're wrapping it up shortly. JD wanted to know, when that happens, do you get any weird feelings? Talking about you didn't feel anything when the equipment went off.
No.
She was trying to get down to get a.
But that's just to be expected because it's night. We're out in that area.
We saw something on thermal and it's gone. So.
But I didn't have any it wasn't any feelings that seemed out of place. The way I was feeling and what I was kind of dealing with there was to be expected at that point. So it wasn't anything extreme or anything out of place.
Yeah. Surviving the Strange goes, what adds to the weirdness is you think cloaking is just visual. You'd have to have a set of footprints just start and stop in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Where the footprints end.
Yeah, I mean, it's when you start looking at all of it, unless you start cherry picking stuff, a lot of this doesn't make sense, man. And that's why I always just tell people when they go, I've got it all figured out. This is it. I go, you're ignoring half of the phenomena here. You know what I'm saying? You're ignoring half of the things associated with this stuff.
Yeah.
You're cherry picking. You started with your premise and you're working backwards and you're cherry picking the stuff that backs it up. And that's just, I don't know, man. Just like I said, none of it makes sense. The camera and the recorder going down don't make sense. I don't understand it. I don't understand what happened with it. So.
Ghost dogs on the house. Way the Samurai. He asked if we'd seen the Willow Creek movie. Yes, we've seen the Willow Creek movie.
People are turning on mountain monsters now.
Turning.
But.
A vicious bunch.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to get towards the end here.
I'm going to go ahead and do last call.
Yep.
And if you guys have anything else, throw it out there. Otherwise, we're coming up on the 9 o'clock hour. I do want to thank you guys again for popping on to Anomicon last night. That was a really good showing that we had. We came out in force. It was awesome to see.
Took it over.
I had my laptop going, and I had my laptop. I'm on the couch. We're watching it on the TV, and we're in the chat. We're just laughing, and I was like, these people are amazing. This is just amazing to see. I just want to thank you guys for hopping on that. Let me look at the progress of that upload. I'm actually uploading for the members my presentation. Let's stop sharing. I'm uploading my presentation for the members that was on Anomicon because the stream cut off after 12 hours. And so my presentation is not on the stream that's on there right now. It's up. I got to make a thumbnail for it, but that's going to be available for members tonight. So if you missed my presentation on Anomicon last night live, you can watch it as a member tonight, and I'll make it available to the public in a couple of days. But members will have that available to them tonight. So keep an eye out. I will make a little thumbnail for that, and we'll launch that as soon as I'm done with the show here. So if you guys have anything else, let me know. And
I'll send you a PM on why I believe that guy got targeted. There's more that happened.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll look for that, buddy. So Alan Lasser coming in under the wire. Do y'all think Spearfinger is real or folklore?
There's some interesting stuff.
There's some interesting stuff on that, and there's some.
I know that story has been just dragged, and but that is an actual piece of Cherokee folklore, and we've narrowed down the area in which we think that legend originated from specifically. So
let me put it to you like this: Cherokee folklore so far
has been
batting 1,000 so far with everything
high.
else. Everything that we've looked into that has basis in Cherokee folklore, there's meat to the bone there. So batting 1,000 so far. So
Jason Vall says, anyone given consideration that these cryptid Sasquatch, Bigfoot, Sabe, or whatever you choose to call it, travels via waterways, wet dog smell, snow prints, etc. A lot of animals travel via waterways. But yeah, that's a possibility. We noticed that we have a lot of activity along old Forest Service roads or old logging roads. A lot of times when we go hike into an area that's pretty remote, we'll take old logging roads or old roads that used to go up to settlements or homesteads. And we seem to have a lot of weird stuff happen, but that's the path of least resistance. So a lot of things are going to travel those routes. So, don't know.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Keep your notifications on. I've got some exploring to do. If I come across a signal spot, I might try to go live again like we did a couple of weeks ago. So keep your notifications.
Yep. And I'm working on that video with all that crazy stuff in it from the little people stuff.
Yeah.
Working on that. And then my presentation is going to be live after we get off here. I'm going to go make a thumbnail for it real quick, and I'll put that live for our members. So we appreciate you guys joining us tonight for Hellbent Holler Live. We are kicking off our fall season. It's still hotter than Hades out here, but we're trying to force it to happen. Just a reminder, we are working on sort of a membership drive to try to get a Starlink system so that we can do live streams from more remote places. That's
better quality live
That's
streams.
going to be high quality live streams, live investigations, not just live streams of us in places sitting there BSing, chatting with each other. It's going to be live investigations that you, the members, are going to be involved in. So that is going to be what we're working towards for the next few weeks. If we could get that done with a little lead time before Halloween, I foresee some cool stuff happening.
Yeah.
Right?
You need a large but still portable power source for stationary stuff like at cemeteries and everything like that. Then you need multiple smaller portable ones. I don't know if you daisy chain them a lot, but anyway, we'll figure it out.
His wheels are turning.
Wheels are turning, boys. So wheels are turning.
All right, guys. Well, Suji, have you thought about enabling gift memberships?
They won't let us do those for some reason.
They will not let us do
We've sent that in every time we do a feedback thing with them. But they have not, it's not active on here, but it might change. I mean, they changed the thing with the ads without telling us tonight. We had to turn those off.
So
sorry about those again. You guys will not see ads on the next Monday live stream. We will go in and purposely turn those off.
Yeah.
So that at least while it's live, you will not see them.
Yeah, while it's live. So, all right. Well, that's, I think that's all she wrote. What do you think?
Wrap this bad boy
All
up.
right, guys. Thank you for joining us. I hope you guys have a awesome and safe rest of your week. Keep an eye out for anything else that we may have to throw it your way. You never know with Hellbent Holler. But thank you guys again for showing up to Anomicon. You guys are truly the best. We appreciate you. We hope you guys have a safe and awesome week. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. We'll see y'all later.